Heck yeah, boy. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another video, and today we're gonna go, it's windy, we're gonna go flip some tin because I haven't done that in a while and I've really been itching to do it. But it got cold last night, it dropped down to the 50s, so I'm gonna go ahead and check on the animals here at the house because even though they should be just fine, I wanna make sure. Because my sulcata's in here, she's dug a burrow. Today I'm probably gonna have to set up a place for her to go into to stay warm with a heat lamp or a heat emitter, so that probably heat emitter because it won't have any light during the nighttime. So I'm gonna go in here, turn on everybody's light. It's quite cold. Everybody else's light on. Turn on the turtles. Hey, buddy. Do this. There we go, bud. Enjoy that. Temperature is maintained in here, but since in general it's been a little cooler, especially for the tortoises outside and the iguana, they're not going to eat quite as much. They're going to kind of go off feed for a little bit when it's cold like this because, you know, until I decide to move them back inside. So, as we know, reptiles cannot digest their food when they are cold because they're ectothermic. They can't regulate their own body temperature and they can't produce their own heat to digest things like we can, so they have to be able to bask and stay warm to eat and digest their food, or else it'll rot in their stomach. So these guys inside are fine for the most part, but they're still asleep. But I'm gonna feed them when I get back from flipping today instead of doing it first thing in the morning because everyone needs some time to warm up. But yeah, I'm about to head out. Gonna grab some food for myself and we'll get on the road. All right, guys, we're in the car ready to go. I'm gonna go pick up some breakfast real quick, even though it's kind of late. I slept in, and that's like one of the only days I get off during the week. So we're gonna head off and do some flipping as soon as possible. I just gotta go get some breakfast. But finally wearing a jacket. Been waiting on this cooler weather for a while now, because even though a lot of people think herping is better in the summer, of course spring is always gonna be the best time to find most animals. But as far as looking for snakes and stuff like that, summer in my experience is actually not the best time because it's so hot. It just kind of makes it miserable to go out and hike, which is one of the only ways you can find them during the day, during the summer. So during the winter time, even though it's cold at night, during the day, if you hit the time just right to go look, you'll find snakes out basking and under cover. So that's two of my favorite ways of finding them because you can hike easily and flip them. So we're gonna go out and do that right now, and I'll let you know how it goes. All right, guys, so it took a little bit longer than I thought it would to get food and everything, so I'm getting a little bit later start than I would have liked, but we're still gonna go out and try our luck. It's still pretty cool out, even though it is heating up a decent amount. The tin we're gonna be flipping should be slightly warmer than the surroundings, so that way the snakes will be under it. Plus, I'm driving north, about an hour north to do this, so it should be a little colder where I'm going, even if it's just by a little bit. So, because of flipping tin, you don't really want it to be too hot. We're gonna try our luck and see what happens, but I have a pretty good feeling about it, so I'll see you guys when we get there. Alrighty, guys, we just made it to the spot. Drove about an hour north of where I live to go here because it's a very great spot to find snakes. It's very diverse because this area, it's at a place, it's still in South Georgia, but you can also get copperheads, you can get king snakes, diamondbacks, timber rattlesnakes in the same spot. So it's a pretty great place to find snakes in general, and it has a lot of cool stuff. Eastern king snakes are very plentiful here as well. I don't know if you remember, but a video I posted earlier this year, me and my buddies Richard and Reed finding 2 eastern king snakes actually right in front of where I'm parked right now. King! Eastern king! Yes! So they were just a few feet from each other, flipped right across the path here from each other. So actually, I think what I'm gonna do is go check those two boards right now and see if there's any king snakes hiding out, but we'll see. It's pretty warm to the touch for the most part. Oh, there went a rodent. That's a good sign. This is the board, I think, or one of these boards had the king under it before. I don't think really good looking stuff over here. This is where I flipped the first Eastern King that day. A really nice looking one. Alright, if you guys didn't know, this is what snake food looks like. It's a little field mouse of some sort. And he has a nest made of fiberglass right there. I guess she does. So, gonna let her go, put this back. But the fact that there's still a nest under there with a mouse in it means there's definitely not a snake home. So, boop. There we go. Got water on it. Still warm though. Well guys, I just checked one of my best spots for king snakes. Sad news, it was bulldozed. Boy, I thought that was a hognose. Yes, look at that. What a beautiful hognose. That's an Eastern hognose. I thought that stick looked like a hognose, so this person was coming towards me, so I coming this way down the road, so I stopped, pulled over, and hopped out, and sure enough, he was scooting when I was walking up on him. Look at him. Wow, you're beautiful. Can I pick you up? Are you playing dead? Look at that snake. Finally, Hogtober happened. I was starting to think I wasn't going to get anything this October, hognose wise, but I'll take an Eastern. Will not complain about that. Wow, that was a cool snake. He's doing his threat posture where he looks like a cobra, although he's not mimicking a cobra because we don't have cobras in America. It just so happens that they've acquired the same threat posture as cobras. But awesome, this totally makes the day. Today could have gone a lot worse, definitely. But usually these are a little more theatrical than the Southerns because the Southerns don't really flare out like that. And they don't put on quite as much of a show. So, and also in a few ways, these can be harder to find in Georgia than the Southerns, because with the Southerns, there's a few spots where they're super concentrated and you just have to hit those spots consistently. Even though that hasn't worked for me yet, but the Easterns are a little more sparse. They're everywhere, but you don't see them little snake. Oh. Dangerous little cobra. Alright, so he decided to upchuck and play dead, so didn't want that to happen, but he just would not. I tried to stay away from him once I saw him getting upset to this point, but he just decided to go ahead and do it. So, I'm sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to make you do that. He should come to in just a little bit. I'll kind of hide him so nothing gets him. But, yeah, I know you're dead. Yes, we finally got a hognose. Alright guys, so we finally got an eastern hognose this year, or this fall. I'm super excited about it. We're gonna keep going, and I'm gonna head a little closer to home, but we're gonna still hit some new areas, because that was actually a new road for me. Never hit it before that I know of. I'll be okay with finding another hognose. Completely okay with me. It looks like this year is the year of tragic DORs. It's a garter snake, which under normal circumstances wouldn't be, you know, that big of a deal, but this one is blue. I don't know how well it picks up on the camera, but it is blue. Oh. Guys, hognose number 2 for the day. Heck yeah. It's another platy. Look at you. Oh, adorable. Looks a lot like the other one too, that same gray color. A lot of platies out today. Be cool to get a southern, but this area isn't really known for the southerns as much as the platies, but we might get a Simus. Not impossible. Smaller than the last, but completely adorable. Look at that. Vicious little cobra. These are toad specialists. They feed on toads, and they have a particular preference for the spadefoot toads, which they dig out of the dirt with that very upturned snout, and that's why they're called the hognose snake, of course, because they use that specialized scale on the end of their nose to excavate their own burrows in the sandy soil. That's why you almost always find them on these really sandy dirt roads. And they are rear-fanged and mildly venomous, but it's not enough to hurt a person. I think the worst that they've ever done is some mild swelling and just maybe some discoloration, itching, things like that. But that's about it. Other than that, they're really cool. The reason they're rear-fanged is actually to consume toads, because when you catch a toad, if you've ever noticed, they puff up really big. Those rear fangs actually are designed to pop straight into the lungs of that toad and deflate it, so that the snake can both inject its mild venom to paralyze the toad, as well as deflate it so they can actually swallow the thing. So, let's see if we can pick this guy up without him playing dead. Oh, he's gonna play dead. Oh, never mind. So cute. Well, guy, you're a little more ready to play dead, I guess, than the last. Oh, he's pooping all over himself. That's just wonderful. Adorable little snakes. Would love to see a southern hognose. Their snout is a little more upturned, and they're usually a sandier color than this. But other than that, they have a lot of similarities. They're both in the genus Heterodon. This is Heterodon platyrhinus, while the southern hognose is, he's got poop on his head, Heterodon Simus. Very unique little snake, perfectly adapted to the sandhills. One you don't really get to see a whole lot of other than in October. Even right now it's October the 30th, it's almost over, but you get the idea. This time of year, these are super common in some places, but still they can be a real pain to find. because it's taken me this long in October to actually see one of either species. So we're gonna let this guy go, keep going, and we'll see what else is out. Actually, he can probably just crawl off into the ditch here. That way he won't climb back up. So he should snap out of it in just a few seconds. There he goes. You see him checking to make sure it's safe, and he's gonna go off. Awesome. Let's keep cruising. There's probably gonna be more out today since they're obviously crawling and it's good weather for them. So this road looks amazing. We're gonna keep going and see if we can get a southern. That would be awesome. Good morning, everybody. It's a new day, and I was gonna go out and do some more herping again because it's been a few days since we found those hognose. I've been out like one other time since then, but we've had some cold days here lately, and I was gonna go out again today because it's getting time of year to see one of my favorite snakes, the eastern indigo snake. It's nice and cool this morning, and the sun's coming up very fast, so we're gonna get on the road right now.
This could be good for me. Lately I was feeling like I need a purpose, but when you talk to me, give me the impression that I won't scratch your surface. And I could walk for days, searching for your praise.
Guys, it took long enough. Whew, but I don't even know what time it is right now, but just flipped the first snake of the day, and it is a Juvenile Racer. Very pretty little snake. I love them when they're this size because they're these pretty colors, grays and browns, and sometimes even reds. As he gets older, he'll turn solid black and have the classic white chin. There he goes, rattling his tail. Cute little snake. Woo! It's kind of interesting. I haven't flipped a baby coach whip out here, but I flip these all the time at this property. But there's coach whips out here too. I'm not sure why I haven't seen one of those underneath something yet. Maybe they're not as inclined to do that as racers. I don't know, but cool little snake.
And I could walk for days, searching for your praise, but is it even there to find?
Alrighty guys, it's been a couple weeks since we found those hognose snakes. Super cool experience. It's getting time of year to see indigo, so we'll start doing that. But also, I just got something that's very cool, and I'm going to show you. It's a snake that I've been wanting, and I finally got one because, of course, you know, I also keep snakes as well as look for them. I don't collect, but I like to keep exotic snakes just to learn more about them. And this snake, just like the hognose, is a rear-fanged venomous colubrid, but it's from Africa. So go ahead and show you guys. All right guys, so this guy came today. This is a red-beaked snake. It's a rear-fanged venomous colubrid from Africa. I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of a preview of him because I'm gonna get him set up. Don't want to stress him out too much. I am using a hook because he's not used to being handled, as far as I know. As far as we know, they're not harmful to humans. You can expect some mild swelling and pain, localized swelling and pain in the area where you're bitten. No deaths have ever been recorded, but there's also not been a lot of people bitten by these guys, so you know, anything serious is highly unlikely from them. But when you think of African colubrids, things like the boomslang come to mind, which were once thought to not be venomous, or at least not significantly venomous to humans, but then one guy got bitten and it chewed on him long enough and he ended up dying from it. But as is the case with most colubrids that are rear-fanged, for it to be anything to worry about, they'd have to chew on you for a very long time. From what I understand, these are a fairly potent snake as far as their venom goes, but like I said, because their fangs are so primitive, they're actually just long grooved teeth that direct saliva into the wound. They don't do a very good job of getting the venom into their prey or their attacker.